The cabin sat nestled amongst towering pines, a perfect getaway for me and my old college buddy Anthony. We spent our days hiking rugged trails, breathing in the crisp mountain air. At night, crackling fire, warm mugs of coffee, sharing stories. The solitude was exactly what we needed. One evening, Anthony was chopping wood, I was prepping dinner. The silence of the mountains, usually peaceful, felt different tonight, heavier. The sun dipped below the peaks, casting long, eerie shadows. "Did you hear that?" Anthony asked, his brow furrowed. I strained my ears, but the only sound was the crackling fire. "Hear what?" Later that night, huddled around the old radio, we searched for a station. Static, then a voice, faint but clear. Reports of unusual activity. The voice faded, replaced by static again. Anthony fiddled with the dial, his brow furrowed in concentration. Must be that storm system moving in, I thought, glancing out the window at the darkening sky. The voice returned, stronger now. Creature, large, hairy, dangerous. The words sent a chill down my spine. My blood ran cold. Bigfoot. Local legends were full of stories of the creature. I dismissed them as folklore, but the radio broadcast planted a seed of doubt. Could it be real? The fire crackled, sending shadows dancing across the walls. The atmosphere grew tense. Every creak of the cabin, every rustle of leaves outside sent shivers down my spine. The night seemed to close in around us. We tried to laugh it off, telling each other it was just the wind, just our imaginations running wild. But the unease lingered. But the fear was real, palpable. It hung in the air, thick and suffocating as we waited for the dawn. The next day we decided to hike to a secluded lake. The morning air was crisp, and the promise of adventure hung in the air. The trail was steep, winding through dense forest. Each step took us deeper into the heart of nature, away from the noise of civilization. The air was thick with the smell of pine needles and damp earth. It was a scent that grounded us, reminding us of the wild beauty around. The further we hiked, the heavier the silence became. It was as if the forest itself was holding its breath, watching us. "Think there's any truth to those stories?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. The tales of mysterious shadows and unseen watchers. Anthony shrugged, but I saw the unease in his eyes. He tried to hide it, but the forest had a way of revealing our deepest fears. Who knows, but best to be cautious. His words echoed in the stillness, a reminder of the unknown that lay ahead. As dusk approached, we turned back. The light was fading and the forest seemed to grow more alive with each passing moment. The forest was dark, the shadows deeper. Every rustle of leaves felt amplified, every shadow seemed to move. I kept imagining a pair of eyes watching us from the trees. The feeling of being observed was almost palpable. The hair on the back of my neck stood on end. Suddenly, a twig snapped. The sound was sharp, breaking the silence like a warning. I whirled around, my heart pounding in my chest. Nothing, just the oppressive silence and the darkening woods. "Just a deer," Anthony said, his voice strained, but I wasn't convinced. The forest held too many secrets. We quickened our pace, our laughter now tinged with nervous energy. The forest seemed to close in around us, urging us to leave. We were almost back to the cabin when it happened. The day had been long, filled with the kind of adventures that make you feel alive. We were tired but content, the kind of tired that comes from a day well spent. A deafening roar shattered the silence. It was unlike anything we had ever heard before, a sound so powerful it seemed to come from the very bowels of the earth. The ground shook beneath our feet. It was as if the forest itself was trembling in fear, responding to the primal call of the unknown. Terror, raw and primal, surged through me. My heart pounded in my chest, each beat echoing the fear that gripped my soul. Then, we saw it. Standing at the edge of the clearing, half hidden in the shadows, was a creature of immense size. Its presence was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Covered in dark hair, it stood on two legs, its eyes glowing red in the fading light. Bigfoot. The legend we had always dismissed as folklore was standing right before us. It let out another roar, a sound that seemed to shake the very foundations of the mountains. The roar was a declaration, a warning, and a challenge all at once. Anthony and I froze, our blood turning to ice in our veins. We were paralyzed, caught between the urge to run and the inability to move. The creature took a step towards us, its massive arms reaching out. Each movement was deliberate, filled with a sense of purpose and power. Time seemed to slow to a crawl, every second felt like an eternity, every heartbeat a countdown to an unknown fate. I thought of all the stories, all the warnings. This was no myth, this was real. The tales of old, the whispered legends, they were all true and we were living them. Adrenaline surged through me. "Run!" I screamed, breaking free from my paralysis. We turned and fled, scrambling through the undergrowth, our lungs burning. Behind us, the creature's roars echoed through the trees. We didn't stop running until we reached the cabin. Barricading the door, we huddled together, our chests heaving. The silence outside was deafening. Had it been real? Or had fear played a trick on our minds? We never spoke of that night again. But the memory lingers, a chilling reminder of the wildness that lurks at the edges of our world. The mountains hold their secrets close, but some secrets, once seen, can never be unseen.